We are now live. Ba-ba-da-ba-dum. Oh, this dog. Oh, this Muppetite. Ma, stop it. I'm hitting everything but what I want it to hit. Dragon Dancer, good morning. We're finishing the final setup. We changed a couple of things. So I'm trying to get it saved into the system here. And then we'll get rolling. We did some changes. The computer's doing a lot of things that I don't need it to do today. So, Furry Rage, hello, thank you for coming in.
I've got 5 minutes till I gotta turn off the roadie, want to?
The RODI. Our video is not live yet. Remember, the right is what's live, just so you know.
What's live? White Bat Audio on YouTube.
We are going to make some adjustments to some other things here. We're gonna browse. And we're gonna browse to pictures.
Pictures.
Come on, please.
Dragon Furry Rage! Ooh, ooh! I feel the most calm and relaxed that I've felt in a long time.
I agree.
Really nice. Really nice.
We got White Bat Audio going in the background again. Do we want to do our Vey slideshow again? You want to?
Yeah.
All right.
Where does that play at?
On this, they'll see it.
Right now?
Yeah, if I hit it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, do it. I want a black house.
Good morrow, Manny.
Mystic Manny.
Ma Petite, I don't have room for you in my lap, honey. She's gonna fall off. Like, I just don't have room for her.
You want me to put her in the bedroom and shut her in?
Yes.
You know I don't feel guilty.
It's not me doing it, Ma. I love you.
Come here, baby. When we start our show, you gotta go in the back, okay? That way you can get
She's
rest.
like digging a hole in my leg.
That way you can get rest, sweetie.
Like, literally.
Rest. For your height. Let me go put you in the bedroom. Come on. Come on, baby.
Thank you guys again, those of you. Well, I think everybody in here right now was here last night. So, that was the most enjoyable, fun. Oh, these are blue that I've had in a while. We're going to show you. I didn't know I had blue charcoal. That's very cool. It's just really nice. Like, this has been a really great kind of thing. After today's show, we are going to look at potentially getting some more permanent things put in place, like mounting our camera and perhaps working it so we can get this laptop out of the middle of the room and the table so it can be a little more open. We also did some testing stuff with the Discord. So if somebody wants to come on and chat with us, it's going to be very weird, but we can now pull you in the Discord on the iPad. And so you will be a talking head. And I think at one point it'd be neat. We're going to have to get like little stick people and we'll put the iPad on top of it so it looks like their little head talking.
Max Headroom.
Max Headroom. I don't know what the fuck that means in my...
Anybody know Max Headroom?
Look at this charcoal. See it?
Oh, that is cool. Manny would like to join in. He's in his pink.
All right. Well, we're going to do that once we go live, and we're going to see if it works. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't. Oh, I just hope it does.
Well, then we've got to figure it out. If we have to be on our desktops to do it, there's a way to do it.
Yeah, and you were supposed to research it, and you never did. So I blame thee. Look.
That is really cool.
I've never seen blue.
Charcoal before.
Blue what?
Charcoal.
That's not what she said.
I've never seen blue charcoal before.
Not
I've seen blue balls, but not blue charcoal.
I'm not talking to you. I'm officially not talking to Rook the rest of the day.
Blue balls are not fun.
So what we'll do, Manny,
Yay, Furry remembers Max Headroom.
Once we go live, we will open up Discord video, just like we're having a Discord video, and we will set you in a manner that puts you close enough to our Yeti microphone that it will capture your sound, and then on the video you will be seen on video as if you're talking here, so it may have a slight delay. But yeah, that's what we're gonna try, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something else eventually.
Oh, I really want to watch Max Headroom.
Why?
It was an American satirical science fiction television series that aired in the United States from 87 to 88, set in a futuristic dystopia ruled by an oligarchy of television networks.
Yeah, we can watch it.
So it's Max Headroom.
I boo-booed that one, y'all. I'm sorry. There was supposed to be sound. I went back because we made a bunch of changes today. And we're using the studio mode in OBS, which we've never used before. And I forgot that I have to put in an audio for each thing that occurs or happens. So, my bad. Yeah, my bad. So, good morning, Regs. We're just tightening up a few things. We've done a lot of changes. You don't see much of it because it's mostly behind the scenes stuff. We're trying to get our setup in our witch room to be a little bit more permanent and dynamic, so that we'll be able to use different cameras and kind of, you know, change things around a little bit. So yeah, like that's why we're messing things up. I need to forward. I'm gonna write something real quick. YouTube.com/at. We may be going back to doing this more often instead of just the first and third Sunday now that I have had some time freed up. Because this is one of the most enjoyable things that we've done and I want to keep it going. So this is going to be something we will probably do more of. Couple of other things too. If you are a fan of the show Apocrypha, which I hope you are, every Friday night on the channel Adius Dade with Adius Dade and myself, we will have an announcement this Friday, or I will have an announcement to make Friday. I'm leading everybody on like it's some big, huge thing. It is not some big, huge thing. It is tiny. Hold on. We're going to transition to the slideshow and see if the audio keeps. All right, so now you guys should see the slideshow, but also still hear me. Let me know if you can't hear me. But yeah, so I think that's one of the things we're going to do. Perfect. I didn't break it. Video will be on in a minute as soon as Rook gets back. He had to step off for a minute. But yeah, so small announcement that I'm gonna kind of do Friday, and then I'll do it on Sunday too on our show next week, which we probably will do our show next week. It's personal, but it's something that after this week's events I have learned about myself, and I'm very happy about it, and I have taken a step in a direction that I've needed to go for a long time. That being said, there are two things that we really want to start engaging again, so we want your help on this, guys, everybody, because it's something that, again, we've been wanting to do and we just haven't because we've been focused on other things, but again, have learned a lot. We are wanting to re-inject a little bit of life into the Order of the Patchwork Pagans. Now, I'm going to remind everybody what the Order of the Patchwork Pagans is. It is a group that we started, Dragon Dancer, in the formation of that as well, to be a loose association that multiple different groups can use to say, if you're part of this group, then this group is a safe place. It's a place where you can go. It's comfortable, and it is tolerant of multiple different belief systems. I like this music. Sorry, I'm gonna turn it up for just a second.
You'll have to look at the roadie thing later. It kind of like stopped filtering through. I don't know if it's because I was running the washer or what.
Sorry.
Do it.
So we're wanting to re-inject that. As you know, we're the Two Pondering Pagans. That's who we are, not everything that we do. This channel is going to stay Two Pondering Pagans. But we are going to introduce something we've been trying to work on for a very long time with the channel, and that is the Eclectic Temple. And it is going to be the educational forum that we have been talking about on many other places that we have never actually done. And that is the other piece we're going to get up off the ground. So those two things are coming in the very near future. If you have been in Discord, then you have seen the Order of the Patchwork Pagans. But again, the goal there was really to have a loose association of groups, mostly online groups, or groups that are separated that also share some common values. I have very much learned that I need to stick with common values and not allow those to get away from what I truly believe in just because it's not part of a larger system. And if I separate those things, I respond much better. So, and then the Eclectic Temple, I think, is going to be our product. Because we've been using Two Pondering Pagans. The Eclectic Temple is going to be, like I said, the product of that. And we want everybody who wants to be engaged. Very similar also to the Order of the Patchwork Pagans. I need to clean out the demons, so we're hanging for a minute.
What a week.
Are we ready to go on video?
Sure.
Are you afraid?
Never afraid.
All right. She blinded me with science. She blinded me with science.
Poetry in motion. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, this smells so divine.
I'm glad you like it. Good morning. Can you see us? You can see us.
My hair's a mess. Good morning.
Yeah, what did the demons do to you?
Oh yeah, an interview with a demon. It's gonna be a thing. We're gonna try this on Discord and see what happens. So we had a couple of topics today. We are gonna talk about them. We're gonna talk about a section in the book that we've read. And if you've heard the tone of our channel for the last couple of weeks, it's obviously been very heavy on LaVey, Satanism, and LA Left Hand Path. because it's something that we really didn't understand a whole lot of, and so we wanted to learn. And so as we're learning, we are learning a lot about things and ourselves. So that's why that's kind of the topic right now. It's not the permanent topic, although it might be.
A lot resonates. A lot resonates.
A lot resonates. That is accurately true. Let me. Shit. Maybe I'm the demon.
Maybe you are.
That's rude.
So
what we're gonna do, we're gonna do stream live join in. I'm gonna join. We are going to play around with the volume a little bit, but I want to disconnect that. It's probably going to take some moving and some working. So if you want to... No, water bottle. If you want to join this show, I don't know if you will be able to see, but that is your seat at the table. And
where the yellow oranges.
Where the yellow oranges, that's me.
That's you. Holy water.
Hing is very good for blocking out demons and pulling the gunk out of your soul. And I believe there is some gunk in my soul. And it is... Why are you blowing it to me?
You need it.
The only thing that sucks about Hing, and maybe this is why you don't like it, it's only good for the first few seconds. Once it burns, ugh, too much. Whew. Dragon Dancer, you like your soul gunky? I can see Manny.
Ooh, I can see him. Hey.
So say that again, and let's see if everybody can hear you.
Hello.
It looks like you can hear you on the system.
Can y'all hear Mystic Manny?
This is obviously not the most professional way to manage this, but I think it is the most easy and fun way. And I think, like, I really want to get a box and, like, draw pictures of people on it, because I'm terrible at drawing, and then have them sitting on that box kind of up a little higher so it's not like on the table. That'd be cool, right? So it's like a box body with the head on it.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
Don't judge me. You're judging.
Nope.
It's like the heads from Futurama.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're trying to go for. So if you guys have any difficulty hearing Manny, let me know. We're using the Yeti, and we've changed the settings on it so that it should be able to pick it up. With the exception of my laptop may be in the way this time. But yeah. It's almost like Mystery Science Theater 3000. We've got this whole like the super digital. We really...
it's like Max Headroom.
You haven't even seen it. I like how you put your arm down because you thought I was going to smack you. Uh-huh. All right.
Let's get it going.
Yeah, so the first thing we were going to talk about and what some opinions are. Oh, and by the way, anybody else, Heather, if you'd like to join or whatever, if you guys join in Discord, you can do so. We will hear you hopefully just as much. But our first topic that we wanted to kind of start off with is, as we've talked about, we are reading still a lot of LaVey books. And I might be a little bit ahead of Rook here.
You are.
I forgot what page you're on. 75?
Well, no. That's where we are for our topic, page 75.
Yeah.
Not all vampires suck blood. This has really been one of my favorite books. Any kind of spiritual books. It's a lot of freedom in reading it for me. So, not all vampires suck blood. No, they don't. And what I like about LaVey, it talks about, being responsible for yourself and not blaming success and failures on anything or anyone else. And talks about being responsible to the people that are responsible. So basically, to me, that means, I'm accountable and responsible to other people that are. If you're not, then why am I going to waste my time on you or anything else? Psychic vampires drain others of their vital energy, make others feel responsible or indebted to them without cause. They feel no useful purpose in our lives. And I put, can it be gaslighting? And we talked about it and we said, no, it's not really gaslighting. But they make you feel responsible to them without even knowing why. Like, why would I even care? First of all, why do I even care?
Why would I even be there?
Why would I even be there?
So one of the first things that comes to mind with this whole psychic vampire discussion and energy stuff is I have learned that you can be an energy vampire to some, like, if you're the type of person that is an energy vampire, then oftentimes you present as an energy vampire. You suck energy from other people, and it's not a good thing. But some people are energy vampires to some people and not others, right? Mm-hmm. So that depends a lot on the interaction of the people involved. So right now I can say something based on an experience that I really dislike about somebody, or that I'm really upset about, or I don't want to be around, right? But that doesn't mean other people have to feel the same way. That person may innately be an energy vampire, right? You can feel you're drained around them, but that doesn't mean everybody feels that way all the time. What we're talking about here is those people that really do that with, like, everybody, right?
And they don't demand. They don't come out and, like, they're not usually upfront about it. They don't demand, but they drop subtle hints. And, they could say, I wouldn't want to impose, or I don't want to bother you, or
I really hate to bother you, but can you please do X, Y, and Z? And it's like this whole litany of things, right?
So you got to kind of pay attention to when you're feeling guilty for not, for not visiting somebody, for not doing something. And if you feel guilty for not doing something around somebody, they could be a psychic vampire.
Could be a sign.
Could be a sign.
It's so genetic. You gotta ask yourself why.
Yeah.
Very much so. And I think it's like, I think I've been an energy vampire to some people. At some points, I feel like I've drained other people's energy, but hopefully not purposefully or not meaningfully.
I do this to you. It said feign ignorance to get people to do things for them. But I don't would you say that I'm a psychic vampire, like on the computer or whatever it is?
Is this a trick question?
When I act like I don't know how to do something, do you feel drained when I do that? Then I could be a psychic vampire to you.
No, I just call you out on it. Like, no, you fucking know this already. I don't know why you're asking me.
Sometimes it's easy.
Do I or do I not? I literally have started doing that. I didn't used to, but I do now. Now you know damn well you know how to do that.
I mean, they could be causing trouble between...
Daily.
They could be causing trouble between you and your friends or loved ones. That could be a psychic vampire.
Yeah. I like there's a discussion too about people having to decide what their obligations are to the closest first, and then evaluate what they're willing to give and take and all that stuff. Ooh, that's a good word. Weaponized incompetence.
Ooh. There's fun ways to be an energy vampire. Concerts are a good place to suck energy.
Suck what? Oh, energy.
I know, I got excited. Maeve, the morning, Maeve!
Morning! Really?
What? What?
You're dirty.
Yes. And that's okay, according to what I've been reading. And I don't feel guilty for it. I don't agree with LeVay saying that all charities are psychic vampires. I think, there's some good ones, but LeVay says that all charities are psychic vampires.
He does.
Which, based on some logic, I could see, but I don't really think all charities are psychic vampires.
No. I don't either. I think it's important to kind of figure out what's your limit on that, though, like you talked about. But that's I don't know. Anybody else any experience, Manny, with psychic vampires?
Oh my god, college.
Ooh, college.
Yes.
Because there was just so much shit going on. I was like this aristocratic overlord amongst all these wallflowers and people that were like not part of any group or whatever, and they all just like flocked to me, and I was like their protector, but like at the same time I was also looking out for them. Like I was like looking out for the flock, and they would always come to me about shit, and it was all these really weird, energetic people. By energetic, I don't mean like hyperactive, but like the energetics of how they react, how they are with other individuals, and how these people felt around them. And then I would have to tell them, listen, you need to be careful with what you do and how you say things around certain people, because that can affect you and your energies.
Yeah.
And I just became that person that they'd all just come to me and be like, hey, like, you know, I'm having this issue or whatever, and I'd be like, no, energy vampire, get the hell away from that. Like,
I mean, that's true. That is a very good
so
point.
Much of that, especially because it was like a public college, and we all hung out in this one area in the cafeteria. So there was all this noise, not just audible noise, but like energy noise, because there's so many people there, and it was so easy to conceal that sort of act or energy manipulation in the cafeteria.
Yeah, I never had that experience in college, but I think when I was going to ODU in Norfolk, they had this thing called the Web Center, and at the Web Center, it was kind of like the social hub of the campus, and it was where the mess hall was, where all the restaurants were, it's where the library was, it's where you did all your studying. It was very like cafe-like, and I could never go there and do anything because the second you walk in, it's immediate, and it's not even loud, it's quiet, but it's immediate buzz, like. And it's
energy,
the annoying buzzing feeling that you get. And it's just like enough to kind of keep you off center enough that you can't move. Completely different from like the kava bar. When we go to the kava place down there, like the energy there, I'm not kidding, is so balanced and smooth. It's just insane. Even when it's busy.
Like hours pass and it feels like minutes.
But that's because I think the people there, they literally are just doing their thing. And in college, I mean, let's face it, right? Everybody is, not everybody, should rephrase. Many are really just trying to impress or do, their priorities are different. And that changes your energy too, I think. Especially after high school.
And yes, Dragon, that is what he's saying, that they use guilt to get money. Yep.
Yeah. No offense to Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah, God.
In the arms of the moment that comes on, I feel intense guilt and then anger. I'm like, for only $1 a day, you could save this puppy. I saved 6, honey, for 10 years. Where's my $1 a day?
Exactly.
I one of the things, just to kind of go off subject on that, the other thing about charities that I find interesting, that is often it's in the videos that we saw in Satanism, is kind of the thought that, what is it? How's it? Not giving to charities, because giving to charities, even though it's helping, potentially helping or trying to help, the problem is, that enables whoever's really responsible to continue to get away with it. Not saying that you shouldn't help. Like, I'm going to use the example of people who are poor. Like, not that you shouldn't give to poor, but you shouldn't give to the entity that's causing people to stay poor, and letting them meter it out instead of directly to. Because he does talk about giving to charity.
Yeah,
like that's directly, you decide to give. A gives B money, or A does for B. Not A does for the government of B, so that the government of B can filter it out to the people who are too poor to survive, because they've set it up so that they can be poor. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's like tipping culture, almost. I think is what he's kind of getting at with that. And yes, Nutella just made a vision.
Hi, Mystic Manny. I wanted to say, my dads really miss you and Dante and Dragon and Furry And I miss you too.
She's got fur stuck to all of her feet.
I know.
She we were looking at some old videos today, and we found a video of Tina, and I'm like, she's about half the size she is now, and we're like, she's always been a big girl, but she a big girl.
Get rid of your furries.
She's my favorite.
She's a good girl.
She really is the sweetest dog, except when she's in grandma mode and gets pissy because somebody's walking too close to her. Get off my lawn. Tina's concerns.
What about human sacrifice? On the choice of a human sacrifice. From Satanism, Levian Satanism.
Well, before we answer, we should ask Manny, what does he think about human sacrifice?
Oh my gosh. So in regards to that, like human sacrifice, I'd rather not just being physical, but like sacrificing someone from your life could be an example of that too, if I'm not mistaken. Like making a compromise or getting them out.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly where I think we're heading with it. that sacrificing human sacrifice. Well, number one, sacrificing anything that's not yours is pretty easy to do, right? It's a lot easier for me to sacrifice somebody else's life than my own. People who talk about sacrificing animals and things like that, which obviously we're against, and even Satanism is against, just for the record.
Yeah.
The idea behind the sacrifice really is the sacrificing of the situation, the sacrificing of the feeling, of the connection. It's not giving you any more power over me. I am sacrificing the energy that, but even the potential energy that we could have.
It talks about the magician using their force, magical force, versus an unwilling and undeserving victim. It's not it's the discharge of energy is what's called for, not blood.
Yeah.
According to this.
Yeah.
And that,
Dragon just made a valid point. If it's not yours, is it a sacrifice or is it an offering?
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep. Just even there's discussion about things like blood magic, right? The sure, if that works for you, but the blood isn't the magic. It's the energy and the connection that it represents, the life force that it represents, and you can capture that without blood and without physically hurting somebody.
It's talks about symbolically destroying your enemy, hex, curse, whatever you want to call it, verbally eviscerating them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, call them out, put them in their place, and I agree. Like Manny said, you know, it's that situation, like sacrifice and getting rid of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I put on here, masturbate and orgasm to release stronger energy for your working. Much more fun too.
Well, this just went rated R.
No, I mean, that's what I had in my notes. Like for the energy.
Well.
A Satanist would never sacrifice an animal or a baby.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is whatever works for an individual is what you should do, right? That's the energy that you bring to it. Yes, furry rage. Definitely I do not personally knock or support. I don't feel any way about it because I don't use it.
And that's one thing you talked about.
But you're using your own blood. That was the key factor for me.
Yeah.
When you use your own blood, you're giving of yourself. That is something that I think would be appropriate in magic, right?
Or another willing person.
Another one, but it's not really your sacrifice. It's theirs. Just like they were saying earlier. I think that's the key factor is your own. Right?
The key factor being your own, like that, like if you're doing blood magic and it's your own blood, of course, that's something that you could sacrifice. If it's someone else's, I think that would be more of an offering because they're offering their energies to the cause.
Exactly. And exactly, Rex. That's kind of the thing is, it's not. I guess if you did quote unquote try to sacrifice somebody else's energy, that's almost as if you are the psychic vampire, right? Pulling the energy off of them to sacrifice. That's a terrible way to do magic, I think. It's like doing it on behalf of somebody. You do your stuff, but yeah, I I agree. If it's not yours, it's not yours to offer. It's not yours to sacrifice. I think sacrifice, just in and of itself, is really of yourself. You sacrifice your time, your energy, your blood, your whatever.
And going back to that baby sacrifice thing, I find it interesting that some, not all, of course, of anything, but some satanic groups actually are mainly against abortion. They feel that the woman's womb is the most holy and sacred temple. And it goes back to, they would never sacrifice a baby or an animal. Now, that not all, of course, they kind of go by if it's rape or incest or the mother's life is in danger. But it's funny, they were accused of this stuff when they actually don't really agree with abortion.
Yeah.
Some groups, not all.
I like how he also included the phrase naive. If somebody's too naive to understand the consent, even if they consent, is also wrong.
Yeah.
You know, that was important to me. It's not the innocence of things, because things don't, depends on how you define innocence, but I think that goes a little too crazy for me. It's more about the naivety. If somebody's, agreeing to something they really don't know the outcome, like if you didn't read all the terms of service, right? So that's an important piece. That was the big thing for me today. Did you want to talk about that other topic, the love and hate one, or no? Or do you have something else first?
Did we go over it? Hold on.
We did not go through love and hate. Isn't there a section for that?
Hold on. Let me find love and hate. I really do want to go over love and hate. Where was it? Religious holidays, Black Mass.
I went right to it.
Okay, good. What page?
So we obviously, when we do stuff, we write a lot of notes. Yes, controlling women's choices, Dragon Dancer, 100%. Like how I don't understand that. I don't write page numbers. Remember, I just have it in my section, but it is.
It's around. I got indulgence.
It's in the middle. I think it's before indulgence.
Not all vampires suck blood.
It's before that.
Okay.
Hail the Devil and How to Sell Your Soul, and then Love and Hate.
Love and hate.
So I take a lot of notes. We both are taking a lot of notes, but this I wrote in my notes. This is the section that I absolutely do not agree with.
You don't?
And I think he's very self-loathing in this section. And it has to do with love and loving indiscriminately. And it's one of the things I learned about myself this week, that I don't think that I have pure love or pure hate.
Good morning, Ziggy Ziggy.
Woo woo, Ziggy.
Good morning, Kelvin.
And Kelvin.
Whoop whoop.
You want to talk about that. If you want to say pure love and pure hate, I don't think I have those things very much. But if you're talking about love and hate, like one the same in nature but differing in degree scales, I do. So I have less love and more love for different people, depending on energies and things that are around me. And I have learned to kind of agree with this more today than I did a week ago, right? Because by trying to force myself to love indiscriminately, which is what he calls it, and be just a being of acceptance, I have put my own needs second to some other things, and I become internally, there's a word for it. I don't recognize it right off the bat, but it comes out as anger and frustration, and it's unfair. But I have to learn to allow myself to either, I say hate because it is not like a pure thing, but to less love somebody and not be around them, because that is a thing that, despite my care for them as a person, is not effective for me to be around.
So what I like and understand, and I can look at it from your point of view, it says in the book under love and hate to love completely and fully those who deserve it. Love is a special sacred emotion that takes a lot of energy. It is a waste of time trying to show love to everyone, meaning like your enemies. Nobody loves everybody. But to your point, to the same degree or
Right.
on the same scale. If you try to love everybody and just say, oh, I love everybody, I love the human race, it takes away from deserved love to your loved ones. It could also affect your assessments of character. I mean, it can, to a point. If you're saying, oh, that's a person, what are they going through? Well, it doesn't matter. always what people are going through. Are they a shitty person or not? And if you don't know them, you can't decide that. So you could do like what you're saying on the scales and the spectrum. But I agree with love completely and fully those who deserve it.
Yeah.
Not everybody deserves it.
And like Ziggy's talking about, definitely having pure love for a few. I can't say pure love because there's still I have growth to do on that thing, but I'm kind of thinking of it on the hermetic scale of, polarities. If I'm indifferent, then I have an equal amount of love and hate for somebody. But hate and love aren't like things to me. They're states of being almost. And so I'm not going to obviously go into detail about it because it's over. But there are people that I love as a human, as a person, as an existence that has things to offer to the world. But in my life, they're not on the love scale.
Yes, in memoriam.
Right?
Calvin, yes.
And that is because in order for me to flourish, I had to recognize that it's okay for me not to love everybody. And whenever I feel something, I always let myself go be second rate. I let my things go. You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I shouldn't have done this. And I don't get a lot of that back on the other side from those individuals. And it's like, okay, I'm really trying here. Now, the guru would be great, right? You'd be like, oh, yeah, I can handle it. Not me. I'm not a guru. I'm a human.
Well, I don't think you should love everybody, obviously, to the same degree. I think we can recognize the human race and human characteristics. Like, people fuck up, but that doesn't mean I can recognize that, but like my former boss. But that doesn't mean I have to say, oh, no, I don't fucking love him. Not in any sense of the word. Is he a human? Yes, and I can recognize that. But that doesn't mean in any way, shape, or form I have a love for the human race. I think that would be kind of dumb of me to say.
Yeah.
Knowing that I don't.
Yeah, and so the I don't think I have pure hate for anybody. Like I can't think of anybody that I actually have pure hate for. But I definitely have learned the need to stop trying to placate.
That's true, Dragon.
It is a lot of work too. You're right.
I go back to that with a lot of things. It's like hex or curse your person, and then I put, but it depends on if it's worth your time and your energy. Sometimes it is, absolutely, right?
Yeah. Sometimes
you got to get this person to shut their fucking mouth or whatever they're doing, and you have to do it. But it's interesting. I don't think they want to hear about satanic sex this week.
No.
It's different. Love yourself. I put most of all, love yourself. Treat yourself with respect and kindness. That's kind of the first. Love yourself and respect yourself.
Yeah. I think the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I actually have in here that I disagree with this section so much because it's kind of like he talks about it's unnatural to love indiscriminately, but he fails to allow that just maybe some people can and do without force. And I think that I felt that way when I read it, but after some revelations this week, I keep saying that, but after experiences, and not just experiences, but my response to my own reaction after diving into my own reaction of those things has really taught me a different perspective on what he's talking about here.
And it really makes you think about the people who you care about or think that are really important when things come about. Like, were you really important to them?
Yeah.
Or not?
Or is it a self-fulfilling prophecy? Who knows? The important thing is, for me, when it comes to love and hate, is I think I agree with Dragon Dancer a bit too. Yes. Pure hate is a lot of energy. But also understanding that it's possible and there's probably some good reasons, Ziggy, right? And then pure love for me has been really hard. I have a hard time accepting people into my circle and to be fully open and transparent with them because a lot of my feelings I feel are whiny. And so I don't fully give of myself sometimes, right? And I don't fully allow things to occur and to engage. And then when I do, and I actually have those interactions, things kind of fall apart for me, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
What do you think?
No, continue. I was reading the comments, but I can go back to those.
Yeah, we should. They stay there. They're on text.
Yeah, we try to interact with our people.
We do, appropriately.
When it comes down to it, if you really think about it, both love and hate, in however level it is measured, however we measure it, they're both potent, they're both powerful, but hate stems from love. Why? Because it's the betrayal. Hate is the betrayal of that connection and that energy of love. So, like, typically, if you don't love someone or like someone enough, you're less likely to hate them because you don't give a shit.
Very good point. Yes. I mean, that's very true. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, that is very true, and I can absolutely see it's almost like, and I think there's some of this in the Kabbalion or some discussion about this in Hermetics, Manny. Actually, now that you mention it, it's almost like you know. The true status of everything is the indifference, right? Indifference is the base. I don't know you. You're an acquaintance. You exist. I don't dislike you. I don't like you. There's nothing. There's really not any feeling there. And then you grow one direction or another, right? I'm not really a fan of this person, or I am. And then as you grow bigger on either side, when you figure out or learn that one thing that pivots that, it's an exact flip. It's a, what's the word? It's a quantum flop. It's both states at the same time. I've never thought of it that way. Huh. Because you're going so far into, like, I care about you, and then when you do that betrayal, or when you do that thing that just irks you so bad, you don't just knock down a notch on that polarity scale. You flip completely. It's like, the farther up you go, the easier it is. I wonder if it's just as easy to go back to the other side. I bet it is. There's examples of that, but they're not appropriate for this show. I like that. That is very cool. See, that's why we want...
That goes hand in hand with what you were discussing earlier in regards to psychic vampires. That indifference allows whether or not you let... You know, what do they say about vampires when they come to your door? You have to let them in.
They have to be invited.
You have to allow them into your house. This is the same when in regards to the energy and to these psychic vampires. If you're indifferent to it, you're not allowing them in per se. Sometimes you can, and then that leads to an issue. But if you're indifferent to it, you're less likely to be affected by them because you're not allowing that connection to happen.
So true.
And what's neat, Ziggy, about your last comment is we really can, like you said, your chosen family. I like that.
Yeah. I have some chosen family that
yeah.
I'm not sure that I should have let in as much as I did. But it is what it is. I also get Dragon Dancer. I don't want to skip. Sage loves everyone. Hard to teach her not to love everyone. That deserves it. Absolutely hard lesson. And it's a hard one.
It's
even
a hard
now.
realization when you realize, you know, it can be hard when you realize you shouldn't, that the world doesn't reciprocate.
Yeah.
But
and Regs, I don't think it's that people hate you because you get ignored. It's probably because there's indifference or people don't want to engage at certain things. I will say one thing I have learned just kind of along the lines of communication. We've had some pretty good conversations and I've enjoyed them. On Discord and things like that, I'm much less likely to engage now because I don't know, it's just so impersonal and I go back and mean to go back and read stuff and then I don't. So a lot of times things get ignored on Discord. And sometimes when they don't, they really blow up. Just saying. But it's probably some level of indifference. And hilarious Dragon Dancer. I agree. I think like I've had people talk to me, and the indifference is what has wrecked them for sure.
I don't even think of you. I like that. Furry rage. That usually gets people worse.
Sometimes that's like a slap in the face to them. They're like, wow, you don't even care enough about me to curse me.
Nope.
Exactly. That is hilarious. I mean, that says something about you. It's like, you don't even care enough to take that energy.
Kind of like you're insignificant, you know? You're that insignificant to me.
Yeah. I like that, Maeve. That's a very good point, too. The opposite of love. I've heard that. The opposite of love is indifference. Because when you hate somebody, you at least care about that energy that's existing, right? Like right now, I don't feel any hate. I can't think of anybody I hate. That's still alive. Let's put it that way. I can only think of people who I'm disappointed in and who, yeah, that's just all I'm going to say on that.
The balance is needed for indifference enables that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very much. The power of apathy. Who's gruffing?
Is that Draco?
It sounds like
buddy.
Draco.
What you gruffing at?
So,
What you gruffing at?
I want to talk a little bit. It's 11:30. I want to talk a little bit about prepping.
Prepping. Ooh,
And
we
foraging.
need Dragon to join. Dragon, join.
So
Peer pressure.
we're going to shift. This is a pretty heavy subject to me. I think it's a good topic. I think we even could come back to it and talk more about it. But I appreciate everybody's kind of perspective on that. It's a lot of discussion about how we adjust who we are. But I think the one thing that has served me recently is recognizing that I'm allowed to have the gamut. Yes, please. I'm allowed to have the human range of emotions and not feel guilty for having them. Those emotions serve a purpose. And much like the Two of Swords, anger is a way to trim the fat of something and make it more valuable. But can also inflict pain at the same time, which does suck. So, what in the hell is that coming down the road? Oh, that's the neighbor backing their boat out. Looked like there was like a little boat going backwards down the street. But yeah, I like that. It's not even just busy, Rags. I think it's that, and I'm gonna say this and all just being honest. The topics that you choose are very meaningful and deep and require a long, intense conversation. And sometimes people like us, a lot of times, only have 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Now, I will tell you, if I see you in the kava bar or at a coffee shop or even at a place, you know, one of those cafes or something, we would be talking for hours about topics and stuff. But a lot of times, for just from just me and Rook, when we're at UU or Cups, we really are on borrowed time. Mostly because I'm gone through the week, and so my times are very limited. And even when I get to the hotel, I'm like, I see stuff that you post, and I'm like, that's really cool. I really want to read it, but I have to finish work. And so I'm working and doing all those things and blah, blah, blah. So from my perspective, and I can only speak for me, I think your topics are great. I do not think you're annoying at all. But I would love to engage you when we have an opportunity to just chat and there's nothing else happening, right? Like nothing else happening. Like it was just us hanging out. Or not just us even, but a group hanging out just to hang out without a purpose. When we have a purpose, like a ritual or a food or blah, 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 it makes it really difficult to have those deep conversations. But I love, and I do go back and read the stuff you put in there, by the way.
Who?
Regs in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
I was just saying that some of the topics are so deep, they really require a level of engagement that we often don't have a lot of time to engage. But I love the NDE discussions. Those I'm very interested in.
Yard shenanigans.
I will say sometimes too, like I don't feel qualified to just jump in at the level to have the discussion because I don't know enough about it, which is also a thing. And Maeve, I think one of the cool things for me, and you've done this a few times, although I wish you would speak up more, because I'm not always looking. Like when I'm doing a 3 or 4 hour drive somewhere, for example, not this coming week, but next week, I will be flying into Detroit and driving to Cleveland. So I'll be in the car for 3 or 4 hours that day, and then also 2 to 3 days later, I go into Discord and I just turn it on and I sit until people show up. But I don't know anybody's in there unless they say something. And I've noticed sometimes you get in there and I haven't actually seen you. But those, I go in there because I want people to hop in and have deep conversations about stuff. And those are the most fun I've had too, you know?
Tina's concerns.
Oh,
She want to come back to me.
she does.
She loved me.
You like your Nutella?
She loves
She's
me.
hazelnut and chocolate. Anywho. So yeah. What was our other topic? I done forgot already. Oh,
Prepping!
prepping. Prepping. Yeah. I can't tell if she's happy or just comfortable. She's looking like, don't you get any closer. I'm comfy.
She want to lay down.
She's foraging.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
She's what?
Ooh, it's leaky.
Because that she's
I'm looking for
tolerating.
something else instead of it. But
Ew.
Tina.
Tina.
Yeah, she is.
She's so cute.
She is cute.
I do want to talk into detail in the near future about prepping and about foraging. So I want to have Dragon Dancer come on at some point to have this discussion because we were mentioning it a little bit the other night. I do consider myself a doomsday prepper, but not like the full into the world doomsday prepper, and it's very techy and pack ratty version. I like lots of neat stuff, and I like to learn some skills that will help me do certain things should I need them. But what I can't do is go out in the yard and find the thing that will not kill me, because I guarantee you I will almost go directly to the bush that is literally like the spotted yellow death bush, and I would eat it and die. So I need to work on that, I think.
I think I'm very little foraging myself, so I should definitely have a book on that or something.
Yeah.
But you've taken a lot of steps, like with food and
Oh, my arm.
freeze-dried food
Yeah.
and the water straw, life straw, and
So again, I'm definitely the techie prepper at this point. I have watched a lot of shows, firepower, hunting equipment, the ability to offer protection to our house, and anything in it. I'm a pretty good shot. I'm a pretty good aim. I'm pretty good under pressure when I need to use things to protect myself and our house. And after my dad's passing, we're not wanting for anything else. I could probably arm the neighborhood. But yeah, he was definitely a collector of guns. But on top of that, like my favorite, coolest thing that I have, like tech-wise, I mentioned that the other day. It's a solar chlorine generator, and it uses salt. So you put a teaspoon of salt in it and a tablespoon of water, and it has a little solar panel on it. And I forgot what they call it. There's a word for it. It splits sodium chloride into chlorine, and then a dry salt that you have to like knock out the other end, and then you have chlorine to disinfect your water. Right? And so that's kind of important because, you know, we have a pool. That pool will not sustain us forever, but it will continue to collect water, and it will go rancid. It'll go green, and it'll start growing things in it, right? And it'll get bacteria ridden. We'll never create enough chlorine in that pool to make the water safe. But what we can do, especially in the Florida heat, is use glass, clear plastics, and similar things to distill water out of that pool, and also to clarify it with chlorine. So that's something we can use. I also have we do have iodine water tablets. We also have life straws, things that will get us initially in control. And I also learned how to make a relatively decent water filter using charcoal that you would get from a fire. So we'd have a fire, we'd use the ash and the charcoal as a clarifying agent, and then different levels of sand and sediment filters. So there's ways to do it. Never heard about a pine log, though. I would love to learn about that.
Ooh, grapevines.
Yep, grapevines. I did hear that. They hold water in the vine like a pipe, almost.
I can show you the things that will and won't kill you.
Yes, we need that. And we need to work on the arsenal, too. But those are the kind of things that I like. Like, I like the techie stuff. So and we have lots of freeze-dried food because it's good for 25 years. We have the stuff to get us through the initial shock of something,
Maybe?
but we don't have enough to sustain. And so what we do generally is I do 5 drops of, depending on the strength of the bleach per gallon. So right now, we have potable and non-potable water storage, and we use old jugs to do it. And our potable storage, since it is not sealed, we put 5 drops of chlorine in it each year. And then if you open it and it smells very chlorinated, you can actually get that out. But it's better to be over chlorinated than under, because chlorine does dissipate really well in air. So if you just literally have open jugs and you switch them back and forth a few times, it'll help evaporate chlorine.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how that got on the floor.
How did you get that, bitch?
BG? This dog is back to normal, by the way, if anybody's interested.
So you mentioned that about the chlorine, how it evaporates. There was when I used to work at the pet store, there was a guy that would get fish and all this, aquarium supplies from me. He didn't use any chemicals to cure his water. He would let the water run by itself for weeks.
Yep. That's how my grandmother did it. Yeah. She would get the jugs that were kind of like open on the top, and she'd put a lid on it, but she'd shake them up every day for like 3 days. And at the end, she said there's no chlorine in it anymore. And then she had no problems. Couldn't get the guppies to stop having babies. Not that they're hard in the first place. But yeah, that's absolutely true. Like Ziggy, that's 3 months is really good. I think most people have maybe 3 days.
Oh, that's good.
We have, I think we've talked about it before, but we have bug out bags, which has like most of the basics in it. We have pocket knife, machete, enough food for each of us for 3 days, water bottles, life straws, fire blankets, because, we have fires down here, things like that. But let's be honest, if something goes down or things collapse, one of 2 things is going to happen for me. I'm going to be far away and not have access to any of my stuff. So Rook will have plenty. So I'm going to have to find my way down here. Second, if I am down here, we're likely to bug in.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's a tsunami and we go into water. That's the only real thing. So you have to kind of know what your potential is in your situation and how things might happen for you if you are one of those people that is going to be foraging and or bugging in or bugging out, meaning you're going to stay put or you're going to go. Staying put long term, probably not the best idea. Staying put short term, probably a good idea for us. You have to decide that for yourself. Like we talked the other day about planning. If I'm in New Jersey, Rook can't navigate out of our driveway. So I will be the one that's having to march the 1,000 miles.
I can navigate out of the driveway.
Okay, that's about it.
I can get
That's
from...
the bar. But in all seriousness, that's also really important, right? Planning. What are you going to do if you're not together when it happens? Like, to me, in all cases, I would be like, stay put. We have what we need here. You think I'm above eating the Oscars? They're well fed. Yes. Staying put long term, Dragon Dancer. Obviously, our plan is still the same. We're looking at that land and stuff that you had up there. If we were up there when it happened, we would be staying there for sure. Yep.
Everyone's situation is different. Like right now, where my husband and I, we're in an apartment. We're by the woods. We could technically forage if we really wanted to, because there's blackberries everywhere.
It's
But
too cold.
there's the weather, and then we need the land and stuff. Because I'm more agriculture when it comes to preparation. Like I'm all about farming and aqueducts and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I'm like builder and like device making, and like I can design and work things like almost like engineering ish, mechanical ish, and obviously I can help with techniques for medical stuff, but I can't help with the stuff to get what we would need from it. So like where I'm sure Dragon Dancer could probably do it too, but if she or you even picked these are the antibiotic berries that we need to use to help heal a wound, then I can help figure out how to properly apply it to and help the wound heal, right? But I don't know where to get the stuff. But and we're still doing. I mean, in the meantime, we're still trying to learn the systems down here in the meantime. But I think, like Furry Rage said, agree 100%. Bugging in is definitely the better option than bugging out, for sure. I don't know that we'll ever get to that actual place of where those things happen.
I hope not.
I hope not either, of course.
I'm indoorsy.
But we can be indoors. This is gonna be hot. Do you guys do any like actual like specific directed prepping stuff, Manny?
the closest thing we do to prepping is like we're still hurricane preparing when it comes to stocking up for
Still smart.
water and like non-perishable foods and stuff. But we don't have like those straws. We don't have anything to purify water. Granted, we would probably have the means to get that, but it's not like we actively have it. We don't even have enough room to cook most of our groceries currently, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty common. Like that's kind of when we started, and I've been doing this since before I even met Brad. I just stopped doing it for a while, and then got back into it. So just like everything, I'm a cycler. I cycle in and out of stuff, like and they cross each other. So, but one of the most effective things for me has been we got one of those. It's like $35 on Amazon, a super cheap plastic toolbox that has like the 2 levels. You can wheel it around. We used to use it as a book bag.
For school.
For school. And then every week when we went to the grocery store, we would set aside like $5 or $10 to do one thing. So the first thing that we really did was the straws, and you can get the knockoff brands that are still just as good, and they keep for 10 years, and one does like 1,000 gallons.
Wow,
For
that's
like
pretty good.
$20.
Yeah.
And then we got the iodine tablets for $8. And then I also have like Cipro and some antibiotics. They're fish antibiotics, so the different preparations you have to be careful, but they're still antibiotics. But we did that just one thing at a time. That was our hurricane kit, really. And then for me, it morphed back into the prepping part. And we don't have a lot. Well, we have, I'm sure, we have enough room, but we started using the toolboxes. That one is a medical kit, and one is.
That made me think about our cruise and going to Mexico and smuggling all the antibiotics from the pharmacia.
Antibiotics.
And
Narcotics,
other things.
sir.
Antibiotics. It's like McDonald's. I went, number 1, number 2. And then we put them in my grandma's walker to get back on the ship. We need to go back to Mexico to get some more medication.
Oh, jeez.
That was helpful.
I know, Ziggy. He's in the corner. We're gonna boost up next time. We're gonna have a booster chair.
Yeah.
But this does seem to be the best method to keep things consistently and on timing right.
Ooh, herbal ones.
I want to learn herbal antibiotics.
Dragon should do a class.
Yeah, Furry, the only one is there is one of the antibiotics for fish that is a different preparation, and the only thing you have to do differently is you have to mix it in water first before taking it, because it can cause issues with the mouth. I think it's like citrochlorotetrahydrine or something versus ciprofloxacin hydrobromide or whatever. It's just the preparation of that one fish antibiotic has to be done a little bit different. It's got a weird second name. Yeah, the herbal class, that would be very cool.
That would be awesome.
That's something we could do on a Sunday show, right? You could come in and just have you teach us, maybe.
That would be really cool.
I think we have a way to share our screen where you could like drive a educational session for everybody, or we could use Zoom or Teams. Probably Zoom, Discord.
Yeah, we could do Zoom,
Discord. But yeah, I would love that because I mean we have books, but it's not the same as having somebody kind of walk you through the information and kind of explain it to you. But we really need to do that. That is definitely something that's in the Order of the Patchwork Pagans group potential.
Honey.
Yes.
We're my arm is really hurting.
Whoever thought you'd be more sore after a massage than before?
Yeah, but it's not the right kind of hurting. There's something wrong. Vigi's trying to catch flies. That's how I know she's back to normal.
Hey,
So yeah, I mean, I think that we're not obviously going to get into a lot of detail, but the prepping thing is really important to me, and I think probably the most important thing is water. If you have a means to get something for water, that's where you should probably start. We have enough life straws to last us probably a year. And I think I spent $100 in total. Each time I would just get 2 or 3 at a time until we built them up.
Good idea.
You
You just literally drink from whatever and it's good.
can do it that way, or you can put it in a bag and seal it around a bag and pour water in a bag and let it drain out the bottom. That's the other way they do it. But yeah, it filters out. It's supposed to filter out, don't make anything drinkable. It's safe. Of course, the dirtier the water, the less good it's going to work.
Right.
So
So if you could, you'd want to boil it first and then use.
I think I would always boil it first, no matter what. There's no need not to if I had a fire going.
Yeah.
Which makes me want to go out and have a fire now. We have stuff we could burn.
It was chilly this morning. It had to be,
it
what,
was.
60s?
62, 65.
62?
And then it's really, really important when it comes to prepping. I think more than anything that gets missed is the planning. So if you're interested, there are a couple of preppers that I highly recommend. One is City Prepper, and the other is Canadian Prepper. The thing with Canadian Prepper, though, is you have to be careful. He's actually not a very political guy, but he's all about the politics right now at the moment. The news. Very unbiased, too, which I really enjoy.
Good morning, Scarlett.
But you can go back into his stuff and look at some of his older videos to learn about his prepping style and everything. So something I'd highly recommend. And good morning, Scarlett, since Rook couldn't wait 3 seconds for me to finish a statement.
She requires immediate. I need to tell her immediately good morning.
Immediately.
Yes.
So I think, even though I don't think we necessarily have it planned, we may do, we're definitely going to keep the first and third Sunday. We will not drop that. That's going to happen. We may add some Sundays, but it's going to just be spur of the moment, I think. And we're probably going to do more streaming of games like we did last night. So if you guys are around, we would love to see you on that.
That
But
was
we're
awesome.
we're kind of re-upping some of our systems and things and stuff here. But we really, really, really want to kind of focus on the things that you guys want to talk to also. So if you have ideas, thoughts, things you want to hear about, occult related, prepping related, pagan related, whatever, we'll even commit to doing a little bit of research on it for you. Pop it in the chat, in the Discord, and we'll talk about it. We'll have some discussion. Just as long as everybody recognizes that we are not the elders, we are not the pros, we are not the teachers, the sages. We're just two people trying to ponder on the pagan shit and figure out how to do things the best we can. And that's what we want to do. Yeah, and it was weird. Like we didn't even think to post it or anything. We just kind of said, you know what, let's stream. We had
We did DVD.
Yes, we should play that today again.
It was DVD, Ziggy. It was
was.
fun. I sucked like the first 2 games. I finally made it out the third one, I think, but it was fun.
It was fun. We tried to play Ark, but we just couldn't get into
Ark
the
didn't work.
stupid servers. Yes,
Yeah.
Dragon. Everyone is a teacher and a student, and we are both at the same time. We will share what we know, but we just want to make sure that other people who are, especially other new people who come in, don't think that what we say is gospel or always correct. You need to verify what we say too. We'll try, of course. But yeah. Hey, if you're around this afternoon, we should play some Dead by Daylight. Like,
Yeah.
for sure.
Tournament.
Yes, Regs, thank you for that. I agree 100%. I will tell you one thing of many things. I don't know why I always say that. I'll tell you one thing. What the hell am I? I would like to share something with you. Going back and reading all the things that you posted and said in the Discord throughout all of the issues that I had, you are clearly in control of your process and what you do and how you think. You are so gracious. You were kind, you were patient, and it meant a lot to me that you maintained that during those conversations. And I really do appreciate you stopping in today. It makes me feel good that there are people that still want to see how we're doing and make sure things are okay. And I'm telling you, it meant a lot. I think everything that you did and said was absolutely appropriate and very well thought, very well considered. So please know that. But yeah, I think it's almost time for tarot.
Yeah, do we want to do tarot since we did it last night? Let me go get a deck. If so, that look says yes, so let me go get a deck. All right, I'm going. Oh,
We're doing tarot.
are you going to make a list, or do I need to keep my...
I'll make a list.
All
Who
right.
wants tarot?
Oh.
And let me ask this.
Cards. We shouldn't say tarot. It's cards.
Manny, I'm assuming since you're on Discord with us, you may want to pull a card, or do you want us to pull cards for you? I would just, whatever you want's good with me.
I mean, I could pull cards. I just don't know how visible it would be. Let me look at my other deck, because there's a specific deck I want to use for this week.
It's completely up to you. We did it last night, and they couldn't see Brad's cards, unfortunately. We haven't got that part quite figured out yet. All right, let's go back up. From the moment we mentioned tarot, I'm going to go in order of people who yayed also, just because. Oh my god, my eyes are freaking... I'm wearing old contacts today, so... let's see, who... Dragon! Oh, wrong thing. Scarlet. And Ziggy. And Furry. For sure, Regs, look, me too, obviously. And I will say this, I did and needed to apologize for my part in not taking things in a better way and doing things in a better way. So we're certainly having off days. And that's always going to be a thing, right? We'll always have off days. So far we've got Dragon, Scarlet, Ziggy, Furry, and Tabby. Kelvin, you will get a general reading unless you specify otherwise.
May I use Shirley Vampire Oracle deck?
Sure can.
Thank you. This one called to me. I need some.
And I know you guys are saying you want to read, but I'm going to go in order of whoever says Happy Tarot first.
What? Your mama.
Yo mama ho.
Oh, what you call me? Actually, my mom.
Oh, I started doing it again.
What?
I like your mom more than I like you. Most days.
Well, that's very nice. I need some. We
All
need
right.
to light another charcoal because we'll need to clean the cards.
Yeah, we will need to do another charcoal.
Ooh, these are cool cards.
Show everybody that I didn't know I did this. Like somehow, I don't know what happened, but look at the charcoal.
Did you gift these to me?
Put it over there. No, I did not.
Put it over where?
Put it on the. I want to show it on the thing. I want to show you guys.
Look how pretty.
This charcoal, and it's going to be really hard to see Manny in that little corner. I'll try to make it a little bit bigger. Look at that bee. It is actually blue. Yeah, it's so pretty. I have blue, red, silver. I don't know, like I don't remember getting colors, but we got colors. All right, so give it back to me so I can light it.
All right, can they see it? Oh, you can see it. This is cool. I need to get some more of these kinds of decks. Have you used these?
Yep.
My vampires? You have.
They're just big cards, so they don't shuffle well, so they don't get messed up. It's bad.
Just gonna kind of mix them up before we start.
So I will be using the Citadel, a fantasy oracle.
Ooh, I'll be using Les Vampires Oracle by Lucy Cavendish.
I'm using Santa Muerte Oracle.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome.
All right, let's get our charcoals going so we can.
I like the oracles sometimes.
With the blue coloring look, you can see it like it's like a little typewriter going back and forth.
Yeah. It is. That's really cool. I wonder if they have pink charcoals.
Said red.
Said red, true. You did not intentionally order those that
I
way,
did
right?
not. I just got the cheapest ones they had. I gave all mine to cups.
I see.
All my
I'm
regular
gonna need to
charcoal.
Put this up so I don't spill it.
Yeah. Is there any more?
No.
Yeah, he got moved to plastic, by the way. He's not allowed to have glass. It is definitely neat. I've never seen it before. All right. So the Citadel is an 8-sided tarot. It's so pretty. It's very neat and different than I normally do, like the type of cards that it is. They got this really cool shape, and they are an oracle. But it is one of those oracles that actually has a bunch of cards. It's not one of those like 30 card oracles. I don't know if it's 60 or 50. I can't remember. Let me check. Because it is, oh gosh, 80.
All right.
What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
It was really neat. I think it's the first time
There's about 60 cards.
that we've all used Oracle decks. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I want to find a dark Oracle deck.
Then I have the Dark Mirror.
There's not really one about. Wish they had a left-hand path
They
Oracle
do.
deck.
There are some.
There are.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I have the Cthulhu Tarot.
Cthulhu, not
The
Thulian.
Lovecraftian.
That's
Not
different.
Thulian. It is different.
You know, I'm really interested to see if that's really a connection because people say those conspiracies. I read that Thulian was ancient dark texts, like from a long time ago. I never saw anything about neo-Nazi stuff.
Yeah, there's more to it than that, I'm sure. Dragon Dancer.
Dragons first?
Dragons first.
Any question or Le General?
As of right now, it's the General.
From Mozambique. Put some stuff on.
Oh, you want this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna clean these.
Do you even know what
brush
this
up on.
is?
That is. Let me smell it. Oh, it's very sweet. Vanilla rose.
Benzoin.
Oh, that's benzoin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
There's lots of different types of benzoin. Cat Tarot. Love Cat Tarot.
All right, what does Dragon Dancer need to know from Les Vampires? Let's see what the vampires say, or Les Vampires say.
All right.
These are not psychic vampires. These are wise vampires.
That are wise.
Not psychic. not energy
All right.
vampires.
Yes, my first card for Dragon Dancer today.
What is it?
The Founder.
The Founder. Those are beautiful.
Foundations
cards.
and Community.
It's like copper or something.
They're very pretty. So
How's
it's a
that
little hard to
looking?
see, but that's the Citadel. And this goes with last night's reading cards. It's talking about having a foundation of things. If I remember correctly, we had some pentacles last night. Whatever we had last night, if I remember, it was stability. I remember that. There's something with stability and things that are going to happen, but maybe not in the speed we want them to. I could be mixing you up with Furry Rage, but this is the Citadel. This is the foundation of the community that you're trying to build. And that community may be as large as yourself, or maybe taking over the whole town like you want to, which I think is fun and we should do.
The village.
But Citadel is all about, in this instance, the founder. I mean, is all about the Citadel, the founding. I do want to read real quick because I just have to find it. It's an Oracle deck, and I think we talked before, when it comes to Oracle decks, I often do read the meanings just so that they're online with what people think. So this is to build the community. You must lay your foundations. What sort of person must you be to support those around you? Someone you know may be asking for help, but you may not be able to provide what they need right now because you're doing what you need to do right now for your foundation, for your community. Look at if anything's holding you back, and if so, how can you get support to do that? Don't be afraid to ask other people. That's the Citadel.
That's a good card.
That is. Thank you.
All right.
Is that Ma Petite? Is she mad?
She's mad. Did Manny want to go, or you want me to go?
Either one's fine with me.
Okay, I'll put, for you, the vampires have selected faith, trust, unwavering, and confidence. This is that stupid enough. All right. The belief that something will take place or is right or is a particular way can be called faith. Faith is quiet and hopeful, offers contentment and calm. It has not bravado, and it need not insist on its rightness. Faith is something we have too, and we observe it in the best of those we call humans, the warm-blooded ones, of whom you are one. Your faith returns, and you feel a true connection and comfort in your choices and plans. They are supported by the energy of the universe.
Nice.
Faith.
Gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. Oh. All right, Manny, do you have a card for
I do.
Dragon?
I can't say the name. Huitzilopochtli. He is the god. Let's see, you can probably barely see it. He's the god of the sun and war. So basically, this card is the advice is to proceed calmly along the path you have chosen, but without perception, towards the first goal you see in the light. Otherwise, the shadows you meet on your path will seem like darkened wells.
All those things kind of go lock and step. I like that.
Keep the faith.
Lay your own foundation before you lay anybody else's.
Yes. All right. Well, hopefully that gave a little bit of insight for you.
For you.
Who's next?
Scarlet!
Scarlet. All
The
right.
Brain Witch.
What do you want to say to Miss Scarlet today? Those are really cool cards. Like how they're designed. They look like they'd be difficult to shuffle, though.
They're easy to shuffle, actually.
They are.
Well, look at that.
Oh.
The Witch.
Pretty card.
The Brain
The
Witch
witch.
gets the Witch.
The Brain Witch gets the witch.
So, without having, again, I'm going to read from the book when I get to it, but the first thing that I think of with the Witch and what's on there is really the rebellion, right? The going through and taking of things, the whole process, the whole thing. This is all experimentation is on there too on the card. So we're talking about really everything that the witch does, especially historically, is about doing the thing, even if it's in hiding, even if it's in secret, but it's maintaining who you were despite all of the external pressures that could have caused, you could die for being a witch in the days. Even today, you can get kind of screwed around. But in this witch is actually representing around wisdom. Know that some advice is too outdated for your modern life now. Tradition is a set of guides, not a strict rule book. If you find you're being held back by how you should approach a situation, change it. Surround yourself with others who think outside the box. Embrace a new tradition. I like that. That's a really good version of witch.
Witch.
Sorry, I got an eyelash in my eye now.
There you go. All right. The vampires say compassion, empathy, simpatico, and kindness. There are times in our life when circumstances and people and what we see have a certain horror to them. It is the horror of being unable to believe that there is such cruelty and malice and injustice in the world. Each day, if we allow ourselves, we expose our minds and our hearts and energies to events that hold enough tragedy within them for us to suffer pain on behalf of other humans, animals, and all the fellow creatures we share this planet with. We children of the night know this suffering too, and sometimes cannot bear to stand it a moment longer. This is an opportunity to change your mind about who has compassion within their heart and who is a caring being. For the great nurturing tenderness and yearning to ease the misery in the world through being kind to at this time will come through an unexpected source. And there is great goodness in their act, although you may never have thought of them as one or the kind who cares.
I like that one.
That'd be a really
That's
cool
a good
thing.
deck.
That's a good deck, yeah. So kindness is going to come from somebody unexpected this week. And it's saying don't question their motives. They really are
Being kind.
being kind.
And that goes along with thinking outside of the box and being around people that think outside of the box, because you can have tradition as your guide, but not your rule. Yep. All right. Manny, you got a card for Scarlet.
Yeah, so the card that I pulled for Scarlet is basically masculine energy. This is the first active and dynamic and creative impulse that emerges from the darkness. And the advice is that your abilities are at their peak, but you need to focus better on your objectives. Perhaps asking for advice from a masculine or paternal figure.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the person that's going to be the caring
Maybe.
and kindness that shouldn't
Unexpected,
expect.
but real. Yeah, I like that. Very cool. All right.
Who's next?
I think Ziggy's next, but real quick, I'm throwing back up that's the guidebook for it's called The Citadel, a Fantasy Oracle by Fez Inkrate, which I'm pretty sure is the pen name. But Ziggy is next.
Does Lady Ziggy have a question?
Thank you.
Yes, maybe. Ziggy, can't you see?
Sometimes you wanna just be hypnotized by me.
Your
Just
game
a
and ways
general.
and kindness ways just hypnotize me. You make the world a better place. I just love your Ziggy ways. Aha! That was good, wasn't it? You love it.
Ziggy!
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a survivor.
What?
What does Ziggy need to know?
So I pulled for you from the Citadel, the warrior. And so the warrior is representing the need at a moment to really 100% give everything you have, right? To give everything that you can. But it also can represent, because you're giving so much, but you might be facing some burnout. Are you doing too much? According to the book, In your efforts to improve, you've set yourself in competition against something or someone, perhaps even an imagined perfect version of yourself. The primal need to win, which I think you're a little competitive if I am not mistaken, is driving you, and it feels great to come out on top no matter what the damage that you will take in the meantime. Whether you learn to curb the impulse or use it to grab your goals, just be aware that it's present. Okay.
That is a beautiful deck.
Yeah, so the warrior is basically in the pursuit of perfectionism. Be aware that burnout is a possibility.
I think that's come up before. I think that's come up before
has.
for when we pulled for Ziggy.
It has.
Yeah, so don't burn out. Take some time for yourself, maybe.
Don't burn out, please.
Don't burn out. What did the vampires say for Ziggy? They say, ooh, eternal youth, energy, newness, and vitality. It is the first card in the deck. Oh, I'm all messed up there. Is that better?
I made the stones in there for your direction.
There. Ooh. Perfect.
Lord have mercy.
Eternal youth. All right. The quest to remain young has never been more fervent than in your time. Everywhere we and you look, you will observe the obsession with being and remaining lineless. Yet there are those who are young in their face and body, who are withered with age within their souls. Youthfulness cannot be found so much in the unwrinkled face and the muscle without atrophy. The true youth is the one who never ceases to look at the world with wonder. The truly youthful human is the one who moves, breathes, and lives with delight and fervor, with a sense of discovery. You are about to be rejuvenated and filled with energy and potential. You will look and feel very well, and your health will be vital. You will be very attractive, and people will be drawn to your youthful free spirit and optimism. Ooh, a little glamour or a little healing? Ooh, a little glamour or a little healing. All right.
Alright.
Yeah, Minnie.
The card I have for you is, I can't pronounce it here, Lazotaro, who is mother goddess of the earth, of sex, and the moon and birth. And the advice from the dead is to trust your intuition, but first accept and admit your defaults to yourself. Only in this way can your journey be prolific, rich, and unobscured by your ego.
Ooh. Cool deal. All right, let's see, Mr. Salann. Who's next? After Lady Ziggy.
After Lady Ziggy. All right, let's see who's next. I think it's Furry Rage.
It's Furry!
Furry!
Furry in the house. What's
Furry
it all
in the
about?
house,
Shooting
what's it
the
all about?
mouse. That's the style.
Furry Rage.
Furry Rage. I think yesterday I drew the Empress for him. So let's see. And Ace of Cups or Ace of Swords. It's Fur.
Not Murmur, but Fur.
Yay. Fur. All hail Fur. Oh God, let me not summon something. I don't have
All
any.
right, sir.
All right.
We've got the
Ooh,
Alchemist.
This looks very fitting.
It really does.
The Alchemist.
So the Alchemist represents balance, invention, destruction. Right, so when we're talking about alchemy, we're talking about transmutation, creation, but you have to break things down in order to make something new, right? So all that stuff kind of goes together. In this particular card, the Alchemist, in order to create, be it a new project or a new chapter in your life, which you have a lot of new stuff, right? Or even new relationships with those around you, something must first be dismantled in order to make space. But in alchemy, remember, nothing is ever truly destroyed. The new is built on the foundations of what has come before, and there's lessons to be learned from the rubble. Ooh. It seems like the Alchemist might be a little bit Transmutation, a little bit temperance, and a little bit tower. That's what I'm getting out of that. So transmutation, knowing that something has to be destroyed, but that it's not actually destroyed, it's just moved into something new. Need more windows to shut.
Ooh, yeah, this. Okay. The vampires are saying, call for help, reach out, need for backup, and mature needs. Often, you humans have an unerring ability to sense when we are around, when there is danger, when there is something not quite right, something amiss. And yet, over and over, you smother this feeling, this intuitive gift you all have. It may have been educated out of you. It may have been taken or suppressed. You may have been taught to feel ashamed of it. It may also have been so indulged and overstimulated that it is now a lazy muscle, a nonsense sense. But at this time, you are able to discern when there is a shift in the atmosphere, when something is about or around you. It is wonderful to have foreknowledge of when you need to work with protection and shielding. This will help you immensely. So I think she's saying, pay attention to your intuition and your spirit. And if something isn't right, put your shields up. Maybe be aware of this week coming up.
All right. I pulled the harvest card. Basically, after an intense and energetic phase of work, it's time to harvest what you have produced. And the advice from the dead is that you have not yet reached your final realization, but the results are coming. So persevere and continue in your work.
All right. Tabby.
Next on the list is Tabby.
Sorry, we've suffocated ourselves with incense.
Yeah, there's so much smoke in the house. I had to go shut the windows because it's gotten up to 80 degrees inside. So it's a little too hot for Miss VG. However, we also smoked the house. Y'all probably can't see it, but it is smoky in here. And thank you for letting us read everybody so far, and thank you, Furry Rage. Tabby.
He's a pushover.
I am. She ran out as soon as I opened the door. I had to shut the window.
There's a coffin.
Yeah. Yeah, she's choking on the incense smoke.
What does Lady Tabby need to know for this week?
The painter.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I can't get over these cards.
Well, you're going to have to get over them.
Are these? Did you gift these to me, or was it the vampire ones you gifted?
Neither. I don't know if you think you can glamour me or change my mind, but you're going to lose.
I need to work
really
on
easy.
it, huh? I'm not doing very well.
No. So the painter is productivity and creation. Within you is a font of creativity waiting to burst forth. This is not just a sort of creativity that requires a paintbrush or pen, but the ability to bring about a vision, to know your own voice and what you bring to the world. Don't let anything hold you back. This is your chance to embrace that vision, to follow your instincts, and bring about something beautiful and new. So when I look at the painter, the first thing I think of is you need a few tools, not many, but what you create is so much bigger and more glorious than just the thing, right? And so I think that is pretty cool to kind of have that creativity thing kind of growing and needing to be expressed.
All right. Live Empires selected for you, Miss Tabby. Primal, connecting deep within, sacred dance, and instinct. Oh, I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm. All the dogs are sneezing.
When we move, we say so many things about ourselves. The way we hold our bodies, the way we inhabit them, and the way we speak with our physical selves, we are communicating. Our energy is within our bodies, and it reaches out through us, and we speak through our form. As modern people, we forget this, and we tend to move as though our minds are living a separate life to our bodies. Your body loves movement and is asking you to experience the primal joy of dancing freely, wildly, and with every cell in your body alight with joy.
I like that. That's a really good deck.
So get down to just like, da-da-da-da-da-da. I guess, I don't know. Do something fun this week, dance.
Creatively.
Creatively.
All right.
Right. Tabby, we pulled the card that represents work. This card represents the practical act to spark death by birth, which is the previous card. Proceed courageously, without hesitation, working with constancy, and on the basis of your work. So basically working with constancy on the basis of your work. Whatever it is that you're focusing on working on, you just have to have that consistency.
Yeah, we have so much smoke over here, we're probably smoking your house out.
And who are we on now?
I hope that gives you some insight, Miss Tabby. And next up is Kelvin.
Kelvin. Hail, Kelvin.
Hail, Kelvin. Let's see what we get for Kelvin.
No, honey, I had you in the back.
Just a few minutes. See, I don't feel guilty.
I do. I have
Like
lots
two
of guilt.
nuts.
Kelvin, this is an interesting card. I pulled the Gambler for you.
Oh, cool.
The Gambler. The first thing I think of with the Gambler is risk. That's like the first thing that comes to mind. I'll see what the book says, but gambling usually means putting a lot on the table and seeing if you get something back, but many times you'll lose, but sometimes you'll really make off with a win. But according to the book, whatever obstacle you keep encountering, doing the same thing over again clearly isn't working. Stop gambling on the hope that things will change. Instead, change your habit or your approach if you want to make any progress. So in other words, it sounds like there's something that's kind of stuck for you, something that you're doing and you're doing the same thing and getting the same result. And you're like, I need a different result. This isn't working for me. So change your approach or change what you're putting into it and you'll get a different result.
All right. Ma petite, you're sweet, but
Sweet, but a pain in the petite.
she is. Ooh. The vampires have for you natural, authentic, real, organic. To be your own true self is a lifetimes long purpose. It is the purpose of this existence, and for each of us, despite the labels we all have, human, vampire, woman, man, we have something greater at play. How the essence, that very drop of pure self, makes itself known through us. And for this great miracle to take place, there are habits to be shed, reactions to be questioned, challenges to be met, and experiments to be made. For you are not who you have been told you are. And so with this card, we ask for you to clearly and finally perhaps understand and acknowledge that all you are can be discovered when you take yourself within and quietly feel, look, and listen to your own self. Not the self of the label, the job. Not the defenses you have developed for defenses, it's English. Not the defenses you have developed for protection. Not the protests of ego or the demands of family voices within. It is who you truly are, and then, once having found a sense of that, to live from that place in small, consistent ways each day. When you take away the trappings of money, power, status in the world, you are left with the things of the spirit, and you are rich in the ways of the soul indeed. This creates a balanced, centered, strong core.
Nice,
Natural.
I like it.
Natural.
Nice. Alright, so the card that I pulled now art. Let me see it. So it's obviously one of the most important aspects of life. It allows us to create a narrative about the world we live in, to make it less ephemeral. Ephemeral? How do you say that word? To communicate our highest and most noble thoughts to others, like through emotions or intellect. But the advice from the dead with this card is that your project has taken on an important scope, and it is necessary to communicate it and transmit it creatively to the outside.
I love it. It's a really good deck.
Which one?
All of them.
They are all really good.
So very
decks.
different. You did, is yours Santa Muerte Oracle or Tarot?
It's Santa Muerte Oracle.
Santa Mutra? Sorry, that was rude.
Deborah.
Deb.
Santa Muerte Oracle, Book of the Dead is what it's called.
Nice. I'm going to have to look that one up.
By Fabio Listrani.
That's
Listrani.
nice
I have a
deck.
couple of Listrani decks, actually.
I like the vampire deck too.
The vampire deck,
Mage.
if you like the imagery on the vampire deck, Furry, pretty much anything that Lucy Cavendish does has that similar style. Is so cool.
I'll
She
send to
does
the vampire
beautiful
gift
creatures and quite a few others. Really cool. Well, guys and gals and everybody, Ma Petite has made her point, and she is where she belongs. I'm telling you, there's nothing like them.
She's mad dogging me because I wouldn't pick her up and I put her in the back.
Thank you for hanging out today. Good conversation. We're going to come back with some more on lots of different things. Keep talking. Please keep your eye peeled on YouTube because we may be streaming Dead by Daylight in a little bit.
Yeah.
And we will be doing fully random Discords at random times where we just get in and talk about shit because we need that in our lives.
So just stop in if you can or want
If
to.
you see
say
us,
hi.
if you ever see us in any of the group chats, if we don't want to be bothered, we will be in a locked room, not in there. So you are welcome to join anybody when we're in those chats. I'm going to switch it over now. We've done some adjusting to our last bit here. And we're going to close out.
This is one of my favorite pots.
Yep, just give it a minute. We will... Okay, my computer just went nuts, I think.
Oh, my name's on there.
Yeah.
It is. If I can get it to work right. My computer went like way hogwash. There we go.
Please check out all of these awesome creators, witches, and wonderfuls. Paranormal Witch on YouTube and Lady Rose 819 on Instagram. Check her out on Instagram. Follow her. She's got some great blogs on all things magical, mystical, deity. Unexplained Possibilities on YouTube and Unexplained Possibilities on Instagram. Everybody knows it's always a treat to check out Unexplained with his topics of paranormal and the occult. Ziggy Dreadful on Twitch. She is so cool. If you stop by when she's streaming, she's likely to ask you to join in on the fun for games. Addie Estate on YouTube and most social media, who along with this guy to my left, your right, does a Friday night podcast, Apocrypha, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I was going to say something nasty, but they actually started pretty close to time the last couple of weeks. So 8 p.m. Eastern time. And content coming soon. Mystic Manny with what he's working on and Dragon Dancer. Talking about doing some awesome things.
Oh, the pagan prepping and
yeah.
Oh, that would be so exciting.
And we are Two Pondering Pagans on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday with us. We always enjoy it. The conversation, the dialogue, and the company.
Woohoo! Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Have a great week.
Hopefully we'll see you around. Thanks for stopping in.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.